see y'all again. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andi. I am a second year PT student at Elon University, and thank you for joining me for round 2 of Zen in Your Den. Today, our class is going to have the theme of balance. So oftentimes when we think of balance, we think of being up on our feet, standing on a tightrope, maybe doing some backflips on a balance beam. But it's important to incorporate balance in our lives, even just off the yoga mat. So in addition to having balance in the form of physical movements, it's also good to cultivate balance in the form of stillness and rest, work and reprieve, energy, calm, sleep and awake. So there is so much balance that goes on in our lives, and we see this throughout the day with the mornings being very calm and low energy, to working through the day, very high energy, and then ending with a very calm, relaxing kind of feel at the end of the day. And balance is so important because each aspect of balance is different, but each component, though it is different, is important for helping us maintain our health, our emotional health, mental health, spiritual health, and even physical health. So today we'll be practicing the physical component in the form of standing balance exercises, and we'll work up to that throughout the practice. So a couple of props you might need, they're not required, include some yoga blocks, so you can reach down and help bring the floor up to you a little bit if you have tight hips. You can also have a prop for sitting or to have underneath your bottom, such as a folded blanket, a firm cushion, or a firm pillow. And if you have a yoga mat on hand, that is certainly helpful because we'll be doing some standing exercises with a chair. But if you don't have a yoga mat, taking a chair and pressing it into a corner so it doesn't move around will work just fine as well. And if you are standing without a yoga mat, I do recommend you wear some shoes with some good grip just to help make sure you don't slide around a little too much. Balance exercises get a little bit difficult in fuzzy socks, so tennis shoes are the way to go. So to start off the practice, I'll have you scoot forward in your chair just a little bit so that your back isn't resting on it. Start with your feet planted firmly on the ground. Inhale your shoulders up towards your ears, stretching out the spine, elongating up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let your shoulders roll down your back. Let's do this 3 more times. Inhale, rolling the shoulders up. Exhaling, letting the shoulders fall down the back. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhaling, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhaling, shoulders back. So from here, place one hand right over your heart and the other hand right over your stomach. And just begin by noticing the quality of your breath. Are you breathing more with your chest, with your stomach? Is your breath shallow or deep? Does it feel strained? Does it flow easily? Maybe even notice the smell of the candle you have in the room. And tuning into any areas in your body that feel like they might need a little bit of work today. Maybe you feel like your neck is tight or your shoulders are sore. Your hands and wrists might be tired from a day of working at the desk. Maybe your back is feeling stiff, hips are tight. And also take a moment to notice the aspects of your body that feel really great. Notice your shoulders feel wonderful today. Your back might feel better today than it did after our last practice. You might feel your breath moving a little bit easier. Maybe you begin to notice that your thoughts begin to calm down. Maybe it feels good to feel grounded. Just take a moment to do something good for yourself and not have to worry about anything else going on outside of your practice. So next we'll be moving into some gentle warm-ups. You can choose to leave your eyes closed here, or you can open them. Beginning with the palms on top of the thighs, Inhale, reaching your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, letting them fall down towards the back. Doing a couple more shoulder rolls, maybe in the opposite direction, just to change it up. Inhaling, shoulders up. Exhaling, letting the shoulders roll down. Inhaling, shoulders up. Exhaling, shoulders down. Big inhale through the nose. Exhaling deeply out through the mouth. And do a couple more in your own pace. So when you exhale, you have a gentle constriction in the back of your throat, like you're trying to fog up a mirror. So what this does, it helps slow down your breath a little bit. It gives you an auditory cue, something that you can listen for, that gives you a little bit of feedback. You might notice the sound of your breath becoming longer with each exhale that you have. On your next exhale, let the shoulders drop down towards the ground. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, right ear to right shoulder. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, left ear to left shoulder. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, right ear to right shoulder. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, back down towards the shoulder. Continue at your own pace, and from here you can choose to leave your hand on top of your head just to help gravity out a little bit if you would like a deeper stretch. Inhaling back to center, exhaling, letting the ear drop towards the shoulder, gently placing your hand on top of your head. Inhaling back to center, a few more. And with each exhale, imagine that you're exhaling any of the tension that you have in the muscles. Inhaling back to center. Next up, we have our seated cat-cow pose. Inhaling, arching the back as much as you can, pinching your shoulder blades together, looking up towards the ceiling. This is our cow. Exhaling, rolling out the shoulders, rounding out the back, tucking the chin into our cat. Inhaling, arching the back, looking up overhead, big exhale. Rounding out the back. Inhaling, looking up and arching. Exhaling, rolling out the back. Inhaling, looking up, arching the back, pinching shoulder blades together. Exhaling, rounding out the back, tucking the chin. Big inhale through the nose, arching the back. Exhale out through the mouth, rounding out the spine. All right, so next we'll be moving into some seated twists. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead, coming into a gentle back bend. Exhaling, twisting over the right, bringing your gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, reaching arms up overhead. Exhaling, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhaling down, looking over the right. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, looking down into the left. And one more, arms up overhead. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, looking towards the right. Inhale, back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. We'll do a gentle wrist stretch exercise. All right. Inhale, bringing hands to heart center. Exhaling, link the fingers together and press your hands out away from you. Inhaling, letting the hands come back to heart center. Exhale out through the mouth. Stretching out those wrists and fingers. Inhaling, hands to heart center. Exhaling, linking fingers, twisting out ahead. Inhaling, hands to heart center. Exhale, pressing away. One more time. Inhaling, hands to heart center. Exhaling, pressing the hands away. One more inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, letting the hands gently rest on the lap. Next, we'll be moving into our seated sun salutation. So the goal for the sun salutation is to start building heat and building energy. So we found one end of the balance where we have some gentle movements to help warm up. The Sun Salutation is going to be increasing energy. So maybe bringing your heart rate up a little bit, deepening the breath, really bringing in air, and then deep exhales to release any extra tension that we might have. So for the seated Sun Salutation, begin with your bottom about halfway off the chair. Still seated, but scooted away from the back, so your back is free from the back of the chair. And then for our prop for this one, it can either be a yoga block, it can be a stool, a really thick textbook you have laying around from your PT school days, anything that can help you reach down to the floor if you're having tight hips. So to begin, plant your feet firmly on the ground. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale, clasping the fingers together, reaching up overhead to a gentle back bend. Exhale, pinching the shoulder blades down and back, bending the elbows like a goalpost, feeling that chest open up. Inhale, reaching arms up overhead. Exhaling, bringing the palms down towards the floor. And just let your head hang here. Let gravity help stretch out any tight neck muscles. Shake your head around a little bit. Shake it yes. Shake it no. And then from here, inhale, walking the hands over the left foot. Exhale, folding over. Inhale, walk the hands over to the right. Big exhale, folding over the right foot. Inhale, walking hands back to center. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and overhead into a gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll continue building some heat and energy, and we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, clasping fingers together, reaching up overhead. Exhaling, bringing the shoulder blades down and back, elbows bent, feeling the shoulders and chest open up. Inhaling, reaching overhead. Exhaling, coming down towards the floor, letting the head hang. Inhale, walking hands over the left foot. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, walking the hands towards the right. Exhale, letting the head hang here. Big inhale, back to center. Exhale, folding forward. Deep inhale through the nose, reaching those arms forward, up towards the sky. Gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, inhaling, hands to heart center. Exhaling, deep through the mouth. Inhale, clasping the fingers together, reaching them up overhead. Very slight, gentle back bend. Exhale, bringing the shoulder blades together, down towards the ground. Inhale, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands towards your floor. Letting the head hang here. Inhale, walking the hands over the left foot. Exhaling, folding over. Inhale, reaching the head towards the front of the room, walking over towards the right foot. Exhale, folding forward. Big inhale back towards center. Exhale, folding over. One last great big inhale, reaching the arms out towards the front of the room, up towards the ceiling to a gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, so next up, the kind of peak poses that we have here for today's practice are going to be the standing balance exercises. So you're going to have a chair towards the end of your yoga mat or in the corner of a wall, so that way if you press on it, the chair is nice and firm and it stays stable on the ground. For these poses, I'll be offering a couple of different variations. And it's always good to practice balance, and we love challenges here, but if at any point you feel unsafe or really unsteady on your feet, I empower you to pick a pose that really helps you practice balance, but one that doesn't make you feel unsafe. And so to begin, I'm gonna have you turn and face your chair. You'll see me from the side, but you'll be facing the back of your chair. And from here, we're going to practice getting our feet planted firmly in the ground. So place the ball of your foot on the ground and imagine that your feet are kind of like cords that you plug into a socket. So we're imagining that we are plugging our feet into the ground, starting with a very firm, stable foundation. From here, gently bend the knees a little bit and then straighten them out. So your knees want to be straight but not locked. So they'll have a very slight bend in them. Inhaling, rolling the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, letting them fall down towards the floor. From here, you can leave your hands on the chair, or you can bring them a hand to heart center or down by your side, whichever is more comfortable for you. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. You can choose to leave your eyes open. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can leave them closed. And from here, just connect your feet into the ground. Notice, are you swaying from side to side? Do you feel pressure more in one foot than in the other? Deep exhale. Couple more breaths here. Big inhale through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. One more big inhale. Exhaling out through the mouth. The first standing balance posture is going to be a high lunge. So from here, inhale, exhaling, stepping the right foot back towards the mat, leaving the toes on the ground, but keeping the heel up. From here, you're going to bring your foot back far enough that you can stay up nice and straight, but you feel a good stretch in the front of your thigh. And from here, pinching the shoulder blades back, standing up nice and tall, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, taking a few breaths here. Exhaling out through the mouth. If you want more of a challenge, you can lift one arm up towards the ceiling, feeling a stretch along the front of the torso. And if you're feeling really good, you can bring one hand up off the chair or just let it hover. Whatever feels good and safe for you. Maybe going into a gentle back bend. On your next exhale, bring your hands towards a chair. Inhale, step the right foot forward to meet the left. And let that right foot plug back into the ground, reestablishing that deep, firm, rooted connection. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling, stepping the left foot back this time. Coming up on the toes, feeling a stretch in the front of the hip. Either leaving the hands on the back of the chair. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, reaching one arm up overhead. If you want another challenge, you can bring both arms up towards the ceiling. And from here, really sink into your heel a little bit, feeling this standing leg bend a little bit more, coming into the stretch. And from here, you can begin to feel the heat and energy created by our muscles just by standing in one position. So our muscles are working really hard to help us stay firm and stable. So these exercises are great for gentle strengthening in addition to just balance. On your next inhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right, plugging that foot back and towards the ground, feeling those roots reestablish. Then exhale, letting the shoulders fall down towards the back. Big inhale. Exhaling out through the mouth. The next pose will be a standing warrior pose. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling, stepping the right foot back, this time turning your foot out just a little bit so your heel can touch the ground. Maybe scooching your feet around a little bit, playing around, seeing what feels good for you. And from here, you can stay here, both hands on the chair, or you can inhale, sweeping one arm up overhead, exhaling, bringing it back behind you. And if you feel your shoulders shrugging a little bit, turning the palm up towards the ceiling helps to soften all of the musculature in your neck and shoulders on that side. And you can choose to stay here with one hand for balance. And if you're feeling steady and stable and want a little bit more of a challenge, bring the other hand up off the chair. Feeling that firm foundation in your feet. Feeling the heat generated in your legs as you're pressing into the ground, feeling a gentle stretch, but also muscles working strong and hard, feeling that energy being built up. And yet feeling softness in your shoulders and your neck as you reach your hands out towards opposite sides of the room. On your next inhale, return your hands towards the back of the chair. Step the feet back together. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling, stepping the left foot back this time, turning your foot out so your foot can come into contact with the ground. You can choose to leave your hands on the back of the chair, or inhale, sweeping one arm up overhead, exhaling, reaching it towards the back of the room. Turning the palms up to help soften the shoulders. And if you're feeling good, inhale, bringing the other arm up towards the ceiling, exhaling, sinking just a little bit lower into the pose. And from here, noticing your feet firmly planted and rooted into the ground. The heat and energy being generated in your legs as you maintain balance. And the softness in your shoulders as you turn your palms up towards the ceiling. So we're balancing strength and softness in this pose at the same time. On your next inhale, sweep your hands towards the back of the chair, stepping the feet together, exhaling out through the mouth. All right, so for the last standing balance exercise, I'll have you standing facing your chair, but I'll be facing the camera just so you can see me a little bit better. So planting the feet firmly into the ground, we're going to practice a tree pose next. So in a tree, we have our stable roots rooted into the ground. We have a very strong, stable trunk, and then our light, delicate leaves hanging out. So connecting with our balance exercises, again, we're balancing rooted and strength with softness and kind of a freer feeling. So for tree pose, there's a couple different variations. We'll start by balancing on our right leg. So shift your weight over into the right and just bring your foot up so that you have a little kickstand so your toes are still on the ground. And from here, you can begin to find your balance. And if you're like me and like to shift around and feel things out a little bit, that is just wonderful. So kickstanding here, finding that strong, stable base into the ground. It helps if you imagine that you're trying to push the floor away from you. And from here, you can choose to stay here, or you can bring your heel up towards the ankle. And for hand placement, you can either leave your hand down in front of you, behind your back, or if you're feeling very steady, you can bring your hands to heart center, using the chair for balance as you need it. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can bring your heel up higher, either just below the knee or just above the knee to help protect our knee joints. We try to keep our foot away from right on top of the knee, so wherever is most comfortable for you. From here, bringing hands to heart center. And if you're feeling really stable, you can bring your arms up overhead and open your branches up towards the sky. And from here, you can continue staying in that pose or just play around with a couple of different positions, maybe keeping your foot a little bit closer to the ground, but really opening those branches up a little bit. And it also helps if you pick a spot on the wall or anywhere on the horizon right in front of you and use that to help keep you steady. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth, feeling the effects of being strong and gentle at the same time. And if at any point you come out of the pose, that is all right. Just hop back right into it, starting with finding that firm foundation and gently coming up into whatever position feels best for you and your body. A couple more deep breaths here. Exhaling out through the mouth, continuing to push that leg down into the floor. Maybe feeling some muscles working around in the hips to help stabilize. And then one more inhale. And then exhaling. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling. Gently coming out of your tree pose, maybe shaking it out a little bit. Walking out the ankles and the toes. And we'll do the same. Okay, so onto the left foot, beginning with a stable base, plugging the feet into the ground, letting our imaginary roots dig into the earth. Begin by shifting your weight onto the left foot, propping the foot, your right foot up into a little kickstand, just to help you find a little bit of balance here. From here, you can bring your foot to the ankle, up towards your knee, or even right over the knee. Ooh, I'm going to leave mine down here so I don't hit the chair. You can leave your hand rotated towards the front of the room, opening the shoulders up. You can bring it behind your back, or if you're feeling steady, bringing the hands to heart center. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Beginning to feel some heat being generated by our standing leg here as it works hard to support us, but also feeling gentle and soft up in the face and shoulders. From here, you can bring your hands up towards the ceiling and then open them up, keeping the shoulders and face soft. Picking a spot on the wall in front of you to help stabilize. Inhale through the nose. Big exhale. One more big inhale. Exhaling out through the mouth. One more inhale. Exhale. Gently coming out of your tree pose. Walking the ankles out a little bit. Maybe shaking your leg out. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths here before we transition into our cool down. Rooting the feet into the ground, inhaling. Shoulders up towards the ceiling, exhaling. Shoulders down towards the ground. Leaving your hands at heart center, maybe one on the chair, maybe both facing the front of the room, whatever is most comfortable for you. Feel the heat that was generated during your balance exercises. Working those muscles to help keep our hips, our back, our core nice and strong. Keeping us connected to the ground, but also balancing softness with the strength and heat. And then next we'll be moving back into a gentle seated cool down. So from here you can take a seat right in front of your chair or swivel it around, whatever is most comfortable for you. And if you have tight hips, it helps if you have a cushion underneath your bottom. And from here, plant the feet firmly on the ground. All right, so now we're back into our seated position. We just worked really hard to build energy and heat in our standing balance exercises. And so next we're going to cool back down and feel the opposite side of balance, peace, tranquility. So to begin with our gentle seated cool down, scoot your hips forward just a little bit. Maybe you have a pillow or cushion under your bottom if you have tight hips. From here, plant the feet firmly on the ground. Inhale, reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Exhaling, bringing the right ankle towards the left knee for a seated figure four pose. Sitting up nice and tall. You can choose to leave your eyes open or closed here. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. From here, our feet have been working extra hard in these standing poses, so maybe rolling out the ankles a little bit, stretching the toes, maybe massaging those arches a little bit. Our feet work so hard to keep us steady. It's good to show them a little bit of love. And then on your next exhale, bring your foot back down towards the ground. Inhaling, sitting up nice and tall. Exhaling, this time bringing the left ankle towards the right knee. Exhale. Letting gravity do the work to help open up the hip and just letting your knee gently fall towards the side. A couple of breaths here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Deep exhale. From here, rolling out the ankles a little bit, stretching out the toes, massaging the arches, whatever feels great for your feet and ankles. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. One more deep inhale, exhaling out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhaling, bringing the left foot down towards the floor. From here, inhaling, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, exhaling, letting the right ear drop towards the right shoulder, and just letting it hang here for a little bit, letting gravity help open up the muscles on the opposite side of the neck. Really cultivating a feeling of gentleness, so not forcing any stretches, but rather just appreciating our muscles for how they move. From here, you can place the hand on top of the head for a little bit deeper stretch, not pulling. Inhaling, bringing the head back to center. Exhaling, dropping the left ear towards the left shoulder this time. Maybe placing the hand on top of the head just to add a bit more of a stretch. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. One more inhale through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. On your next inhale, bring the hand up to center. Exhaling out through the mouth, bring one hand over your heart and then one hand over your stomach. And so just like we did in the beginning, we're going to take note of our breath and see how we feel after our practice. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Really feeling the breath in the stomach. Deep inhale, feeling the belly expand. Exhaling, letting the breath go. From here, begin to notice the effects of your practice. Starting with up in the head, in the face. Notice any tension that is gone, any extra space that has been created. Moving down towards the shoulders, the arms, feeling any tension that has melted away, any areas that may have opened up. Maybe you feel you can take a deeper breath, your chest opens up more. Working down towards the hips, feeling how they opened up just a little bit. Feeling the strength that you've built in those muscles to help support you in those balance exercises. Working down towards the knees, the ankles, the feet that work so hard to keep us stable. From here, take a couple of breaths at your own pace. Feeling the effects of pursuing balance in your yoga practice. And just like in our yoga practice, our lives also need balance. So when your body feels like it needs rest, feed it with rest. If your body needs movement, feed it with movement. We balance time alone with community and time with other people. We balance work, the work we have in our day, with the rest that we have in the evening. We see the balance in the seasons around us. Today is the summer solstice, so it's often a time of energy and heat and life and activity. And then also thinking about the winter solstice, a time for rest, gentleness, slowing down. Taking a few breaths at your own pace. Tonight, I leave you with a quote by Nikita Gill. And sometimes you're going to be as fierce as a dragon, armed in scales of impenetrable gold. And sometimes you are going to be as vulnerable as a lamb, soft and comforting in newborn wool. Both versions of you are needed, and both versions of yourself are beautiful. And so from here, you can gently blink your eyes open, moving just a little bit, bringing some movement back into your body, stretching the wrists out, the ankles out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you are able to find some balance as we slowly begin to come back from the time of COVID. Bringing the hands to heart center. At the end of yoga, you often hear teachers say namaste, and that means the light in me bows and honors everything that is good and light and pure in you. So namaste.
Hey everyone, it's Luke Fries from Elon CARES. Thank you so much for stopping in and watching our video. If you want to watch our most recent one, click over here. If you want to learn a little bit more about us, click down below on the social media. And before you leave, comment about your favorite part from this episode down below, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.